Hey there, this is Alex over at DuraLabel, and in this video we're going to be going over our ArcFlash module in LabelForge Pro. To begin, we first want to open up the ArcFlash module itself. In order to do that, we'll find that on the left-hand side of LabelForge Pro under ArcFlash. Click on that, and this will open us up to a template where we're able to begin working on our changes. To start making any changes to this label, the first thing that I want to do is actually update this header. Currently we have a caution header showing. What I do want to change it to is going to be a warning header. In order to make that change, I'll click on this pencil edit icon, and then I'll click on the header where it currently says caution and select warning. Once I've done that, if I had a project that I wanted to enter, I can type that in here. For this instance, though, I'm not going to worry about including that, so I'm going to leave that blank, but if that is something you want to update, you're welcome to as well. Next, I'm going to begin filling out the label information where I'm going to be adjusting the equipment name, nominal voltage, arc flash boundary, and assessment date. I'll go ahead and get those entered in, so I'll make a quick pause. When I come back, I'll have that in, and I'll show you the changes that were made. Alright, and now that I have that information added into the label information, we can see that this updated the equipment down below, as well as the date, the arc flash boundary, and the nominal system voltage. Next up, I'll add some information into this PPE information section, where I'm going to be actually changing this over to incident energy by making that selection and filling out the relevant information needed there, as well as choosing my PPE category. I'll get that set up, and I'll be right back to show you more. Now that I have this adjusted, we can see that it shows this 1.9 calories per centimeter squared, as well as the working distance at the 1 foot 6 inches. I've also updated it to show the appropriate PPE listed by selecting the level 1 category in this list. You'll notice that I did select this instead of PPE category. The main difference is if I had this selected, it's only going to give us that level here as well as the description, but I did want the calories per centimeter squared info included as well, so that's why I've selected that choice. Now, if you do want to add any additional PPE outside of what's included in Category 1, but maybe isn't quite up to a level like Category 2, you can click on this list of PPE option, select the appropriate options that you do want to include as well, and then click OK to have those added. I'm not going to add any of these for this demonstration, but that is something you can do. You also have the ability to add in your own custom PPE as well. So if there is something you'd like to add in, just type that into the appropriate field here, click OK, and then you'll select it from the options below. Once you're done with any changes there, you'll just click OK, and that'll update to the label itself. The next thing that I want to start working on is going to be the shock hazards as well as the shock protection boundaries. I'll go ahead and get those included really quick and be right back when I have that finished. Alright, now that I have everything added to the label that I'm going to be adding, I've included the 480 that's going to be showing here, as well as made a change to the actual voltage type. Originally it started as a DC current, but now I've changed that over to AC, as well as included the cover is removed message for this as well. I've also added in the boundaries, so we can see our limited approach as well as the restricted approach included as well. Now that we have this done, we're almost ready to print. In this instance, though, I am going to be printing to a Toro Max printer, so there are a couple other changes that I do need to make to the label just to make sure that works correctly on our pre-printed arc flash supply. So in order to make those changes, I'm going to go into the settings option. I'm going to be making some changes to the select what to print section. Since the supply I'm printing on already has a warning header included, we're going to make sure that we deselect the stripe as well as the header option, and I do want to also deselect this border option as well. That way I don't have any of those black lines going into sections I may not want on the print itself. I'll leave the grid lines on just because I like the way how that looks, but for all things considered, I would say this label's done and ready to print. And then if you are printing to a printer like the Kodiak Max where you may have black and orange ribbon loaded for a multicolor print, you can leave these options on as well. That way you get an arc flash label without needing those pre-printed supplies. Or if you're using our continuous orange stripe supply, you may just remove the border and the stripe, all depending on what you need based on the results you want. For me though, I'll go ahead and remove this header just so when I do print this out, it comes out correctly. And then one last thing that I do want to show is that you can also change the template size. By default, this is going to be using a 4x6 size, but if you do have a Kodiak Max printer, you can select the 6x9 option as well. Then once you're done with making the changes that you need in the settings option, we'll just go down to our print settings and we can print this label out and we have our arc flash label. Hopefully you were able to learn a couple things while watching this video on our Arc Flash module. If you are using any other software for Arc Flash studies such as EasyPower, we do have a video that'll go over that in a link below. Otherwise, hopefully you have a good rest of your day and thank you for watching.
Thanks for watching. For further assistance, visit our website and contact our team for your free lifetime support.